Microsoft is raising prices on new first-party games for Xbox Series X and S. They're gonna go up from $60 to $70, and Microsoft says this is due to just how complex these games have gotten to produce. And well, don't forget about inflation either, so I guess $10 really isn't all that bad. Not to mention that Sony raised their prices the same way about 2 years ago, and are also considering raising them even higher for 2023. The price increase makes a lot of business sense for Microsoft as well, as that should help push more gamers towards their Game Pass. And if you haven't already, please consider following the channel for more tech news. So obviously no one is going to be a fan of Xbox games going up in price, although it is very reasonable. They're going up by $10, which honestly is not that much. And I mean, games just cost a whole lot to develop these days. Even pricing the games at something like $70, that's not even, when users will actually purchase these things, I don't think these development studios even make their money back from charging $70 for a video game. They really have to implement DLC content or like skins, all of these microtransactions, because these things just take so much to develop. And I'm just gonna strictly talk about development. Forget the server cost, which is also enormous to just provide services for these games online. But if you've looked at any of the AAA big games from the past decade, I mean, games really just have so many complex elements, like databases and everything. Like, there's so many video games that mimic the real world so closely that you need to implement so many parts of the real world into the video game. You might have to make like a database and a user interface and an application for a business within the game for players to use in the game. It's so much. And obviously design wise and everything, a lot of games are doing 3D environmental scanning these days. Obviously the graphics are absolutely crazy. There's so many great sound effects, there is just so much work, these things at this point are basically just like movies that you can interact with, so $10 increase, it's very reasonable for Microsoft. It also makes a lot of sense because the thing is, the new games that are going to be coming out, that are going to be costing $70 instead of $60, they are also going to be available day one on Xbox's, Microsoft, whatever you want to call it, Game Pass, so pushing more users towards Game Pass, because companies just love subscriptions. You just have this steady stream of income coming in all the time. It doesn't really matter if a game flops or whatever and you lose money, because you just have all of this money coming in. So obviously Microsoft is also going to be pretty happy if people are just like, hey, yeah, you know what, I don't want to buy the game, I'll just get the subscription, and I'll just keep paying that, which it's kind of cool. But we are getting to the reality where we are just gonna have access to everything, but we're just not gonna own anything anymore.